The MAGA civil war is heating up.
The only people left are the ones who are full-on white supremacists and the people who want to do horrible things to children.
The GOP is panicking because literal Nazis are taking over.
Laura Loomer's calling out Nazism on the right. The GOP has a Nazi problem. And the more we pretend like we don't, the worse it's going to get. You seem to think you are a part of we.
And at this point, it's become impossible for them to deny the racism in their party.
I know a lot of black people see this and they go, man, why are you always talking about black people, this and that? Because there just needs to be some shame here. Well, there's a few reasons. First, white people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people.
See, racism works best when it's quiet, when it's disguised as professionalism, when it's hidden behind policies and paperwork, not loud slurs.
I say nigger on the show. I know black people are offended by that, I'm sure.
For predatory and racist lending practices, redlining, telling black families where they could and couldn't live, and then starving those neighborhoods of resources to destroy property values while pumping up white neighborhoods, over-policing black neighborhoods and policies like stop and frisk, and then funneling black people into the prison industrial complex at every opportunity.
Millions of dollars will be allocated for prison and jail facilities.
3 strikes and you are out. Now have more African Americans under criminal supervision than all the slaves back in the 1850s.
Or refusing to fund food assistance programs, even when it means hungry kids don't eat at school. I mean, the list goes on and on. But white supremacists depend on plausible deniability. They need to be able to say, oh, that's not racism, that's not targeting, that's just policy. So they can keep public support from people who may quietly agree with them, but don't want to be known as racist. That's why so many people supported Trump. They knew he was greedy, a terrible businessman, he wrecked the economy the first time around, he pushed racist policies like the Muslim ban.
Trump has a history of racism himself. In the 1970s, he was sued for housing discrimination. In 1989, he was a part of he was led the lynch mob against the Central Park Five. In the 1990s, he was sued by casino workers for racial discrimination. Donald Trump came in office talking about he was going to ban Muslims, and he was called Mexicans were supposedly
bringing
drugs. Donald Trump has a long history. You didn't deny anything of the things I just said.
And helped incite a literal insurrection. And even though he supported the alt-right and people like the Proud Boys, because he never came out as publicly racist, they could pretend that he wasn't. They could lie to everybody else about them supporting it. They could say they were just voting for the economy or America first. But all of that has just deteriorated, with some of the most popular, outspoken people in the Republican Party being literal Nazis.
Buddy, it's Führer Friday. It is Hitler Friday. Shut up. It is Heil Hitler Friday. Heil Hitler, all my not. Hitler was a and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really cool.
Because once it's public, once it's loud, proud, and open, then they can't pretend anymore. If they agree and support them, then they're Nazi apologists and racists themselves.
Raise your right hand. All right, everybody raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I will kill and die for Nicholas J. Fuentes.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. The young Republican racist text leaks were bad enough.
Why do they keep calling us racist?
One of the messages referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people.
And it actually gets worse. JM says, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the blank aesthetic.
Don't call us anymore.
The text messages that were leaked from this Republican group chat are filled with racism and anti-Semitism. In other news, water is wet.
And since then, the racism in the Republican Party and this administration has only gotten worse, because the young Republican leaks was followed up with Paul Ingrassia, who was the White House liaison for DHS and nominated to be the head of the Office of Special Counsel, had his own text messages leaked where he was a self-admitted Nazi. I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time. I will admit it.
One of President Trump's most controversial nominees, Paul Ingrassia, who is tapped to lead the Office of Special Counsel, announcing he is withdrawing his name from consideration after allegations of racism surfaced following a report in Politico where they published a series of text messages he had allegedly sent within a group chat. Ingrassia posting this on X tonight, quote, I will be withdrawing myself from Thursday's HSGAC hearing, that is in reference to the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, to lead the Office office of special counsel because, unfortunately, I do not have enough Republican votes at this time.
Which, yeah, this is basically MAGA in 2025. MAGA, stop calling us Nazis. Also MAGA, I'm a Nazi. J.D. Vance, come on, guys, he's just a 38-year-old kid. That defense still makes me laugh.
By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry, focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chat.
And that wasn't all from good old Paul. Martin Luther King Jr. was the 1960s George Floyd, and his holiday should be ended and tossed into the seventh circle of hell where it belongs. And whoever responded to that just said, Jesus Christ. Exactly. I said, we're making Kwanzaa illegal in the next Trump admin. That was the gist of my tweet. No mooly on holidays. That's racist. From Kwanzaa to MLK Jr. to Black History Month to Juneteenth, every single one needs to be eviscerated. These are people that work in the administration. And it's funny, him withdrawing his nomination means nothing. He is still employed in the federal government. This isn't anywhere near enough. Trump has to fire him immediately. A racist is not gonna fire another racist. Not gonna happen. And then you just have tweets like this from actual congressmen. My wife is a Christian and doesn't want to hear your oppressive Muslim prayer calls either. If you want to live in a Muslim country, go back to the UK. Crazy. Open bigotry is just the norm in the GOP now. It is. But people are calling it out for what it is. How long are we going to keep pretending that the fascist Trump regime is not a cabal of Nazis? I think they all were going to pretend as long as they could, but Nick Fuentes is blowing up any of that. And as weird and scary as things already are, they have gotten even weirder, with Trump appearing to be even more unhinged since being named in the Epstein emails, with Trump retweeting and tweeting this about veteran congresspeople. Seditious behavior punishable by death. Hang them, George Washington would. That is calling for the death of congresspeople on a public platform.
Democratic senators who are also military veterans made a video for our military saying to not follow unlawful orders and to properly serve the Constitution. So Trump got mad and made a post calling them seditious and saying they deserve the death penalty and should be hanged. Another post saying that we need to make an example out of them. And sedition means to illegally rebel against the government or an authoritative figure. So they should die.
Isn't that quite illegal for him to say?
It is illegal because hanging isn't even something the United States does. The Democratic senator veterans only said to follow the law. So he's actually violating their right to free speech and threatening them with force, which goes against the Constitution, would actually make him the one committing sedition because they're authoritative figures as well.
Early this morning, President Trump threatened me and a group of service and veteran members of Congress with arrest, trial, and death by hanging. Here's my response.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin, senator from Michigan, former CIA officer. Earlier today, President Trump threatened myself and a number of other service and veteran lawmakers with arrest, trial, and death because he didn't agree with a video we put out this week. This really isn't about those of us who made the video. This is about who we are as Americans and how we're going to engage with people who we disagree with. I would hope that people of all backgrounds, Democrat, Republican, Independent, would agree that threatening death for people you disagree with is beyond the pale of who we are as Americans. I love this country. It has given me everything, everything. And I refuse to believe that this is the new normal. I refuse to believe that we're going to use fear and intimidation against people we disagree with. And I'm not going to be forced away from speaking up on behalf of my country. I swore an oath to the Constitution many times, most recently less than a year ago as a senator. To the Constitution, not to any one man, not to any one president. And I abide by that oath.
We're seeing all this craziness now because the pressure is on. The Republican Party is splintering.
Hey, listen, fat boy, we want America first. You want to run for president? We want to hear you say America first.
You disavow him at this.
And of course, Donald Trump has criticized this person. Look, I think the guy's a total loser.
A splinter faction of people led by a young man named Nick Fuentes. They are white supremacists. They hate women, Jews, Hindus, many types of Christians, brown people of a wide variety of backgrounds.
When it is just a fact that Ben Shapiro did a lot of things behind the scenes to stop the rise of Charlie Kirk. It's a fact.
For example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil.
I thought Shapiro was against SJWs. Now he sounds like one of them.
Between the power defenders that remain in MAGA, the people gravitating toward America First, which is even more extreme than MAGA.
What are you for? Are you with America First or are you with MAGA? I think after this month, after this year, 2025 is the year that MAGA died. This is the year that this hat is no longer controversial. The hat is not edgy. The hat is not provocative. It doesn't even mean anything. This hat is dead. This hat is dead. Now, metaphorically speaking. And this is the future. America first is the future. Explicit, unambiguous, direct, actually has denotative meaning. America first.
And the rest of the Republicans just left in limbo. As we move closer to the midterms, I think the blue wave is going to continue to grow, and the MAGA implosion is going to be entertaining as hell to watch.
MTG and Laura Loomer are the same kind of person. Hell on earth to give to everyone else, disrespect to give to everyone else, absolutely inhumane and disgusting behavior to give to everyone else, and in the moment it visits them, now all of a sudden they're crying for help. Laura Loomer's calling out Nazism on the right, and she has this to say. She says, I'm gonna say it. The GOP has a Nazi problem. And the more we pretend like we don't, the worse it's going to get. We do. Don't tell me we don't.
We've all known that for a very long time, but it's only a problem now because it's being turned inward and affecting other Republicans.
See, the problem with you, Laura Loomer, is you seem to think that you are a part of we. You seem to think you are a part of we.
Definitely not.
You are not a part of the word we in the context of this of the series of sentences you wrote here. You are not within the we.
The one thing that I will keep saying that I appreciate about Nick Fuentes is he is a loud and proud racist and Nazi. He's never hidden his sentiments, so we all know that anyone that follows him or gravitates to his America First movement is a racist Nazi, and they can't deny it, and that is going to come back to haunt the GOP. But shout out to my channel members. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.